When I first told my family that I had a girlfriend, they all flipped out and celebrated. Celebrated so hard, in fact, that my dad could not fall asleep that night after I told him because he was that excited. That's how much I struggled with my dating life before. Yes, this is the first girlfriend I've had at 30, and yes, I did not have a girlfriend of any kind before this. And today I wanted to talk about how I met my first girlfriend during COVID with no dating app. And I'll be sharing the 3 lessons I learned from my experience so you can apply it to your life. And in the end, I'll talk about how you can date in a way where you're not wasting hours chasing people so you can focus on yourself. Stay tuned. Welcome everybody. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Andrew and I make videos for professionals on living a more fulfilling life. Whether you're looking for that more fulfilling dream job, or you're looking to build that business that actually fulfills your soul, or you're looking to have more abundant relationships outside of work. If that interests you, please consider subscribing. So the way I was with women before was that it was a struggle. Either the woman wouldn't fit for me and I'd spend a lot of time dating them or texting them, or after just 1 or 2 interactions or 1 date, I would freak out and make a big deal out of it and not reach out to the girl again. And today, I'm going to talk about how I kind of got over that. So, the way me and my current girlfriend met is that we were both in the same Facebook group together. This was back during the beginning of the pandemic in April 2020. So it was the start of it, right? And it was this big Facebook network with tens of thousands of people. And we had similar interests. In this professional network, I went on there and just simply introduced myself and talked about a key interest of mine, which is mental health. I must have wrote several paragraphs on there. I think it was about a page worth of stuff. So I put that out there and like a bunch of people commented, including the girl that I'm dating now. She commented on it, and then after that she actually sent me a DM saying, hey, thanks for that post, thought it was inspiring. Right, it was really cool. The thing was, I was actually looking for clients at the time as I was building my business. And so I started talking to her a bit, and then I offered her a coaching session with me, a free coaching session. So we actually got on the phone, or got on Zoom, and talked for an hour, and she got a lot out of it. But when the call ended, there wasn't too much after that. She just texted me saying, hey, thanks for that session. It was a lot of fun. And if you're in town, I'll treat you to lunch. I thought, cool, okay. I didn't think much of it after that. And after a few days, I told a few of my friends and I told my mentor about what had happened. That she had offered me lunch if she was in town to thank me. And 3 of them independently texted me back and said, hey, look, dude, you gotta reach out to her. So I said, okay. At the time I felt like it was kind of inappropriate, but honestly I think honestly truly I was feeling scared to reach out to her, scared that she was into mental health and I wasn't, that she was the one, and that I needed to, before texting her, I needed to write the perfect text, right? I need to make it interesting, I need to make it work, or else she wouldn't reply back. But after pondering a little bit, I decided to just shoot a text her. I said, why not? And I didn't care about making it interesting or anything. I just simply wrote a text saying, hey, how was your week? That's simple. And sure enough, after a couple hours, she did respond and wrote like a whole paragraph about how her week went in detail. And at that point, I was able to write back, telling about how my week was. We started texting a little bit more and more. But after a few texts, I said, hey, you know, you're into mental health and I'm into mental health. Why don't we get on a Zoom call and talk about mental health? So we got onto a Zoom call. We started talking about that for an hour. We started texting a little more, a few more texts, and a couple days later, we wanted to talk more about mental health. Finally, after I think it was the 3rd Zoom call or so, she started to open up a little bit more to me and telling me things like, hey, I think you're kind of cute and you have an awesome personality. And I said the same thing. Then after that, I started to get really comfortable. And so does she, right? The pressure was kind of off of me. After a 4th and fifth Zoom call, we started to be even more casual. Finally, after several texts and 6 or 7 Zoom calls, we decided to meet up at the end of May. And after that, we've been dating ever since. I am so happy about this relationship, and there are 3 lessons I want you to take away from my experience. Lesson 1 is to put yourself out there and be you. Be unapologetically you. Pandemic or not, you can put yourself out there. You can put yourself out there in person or through a Facebook group. Find a Facebook group that matches your interest and express yourself. Truly express yourself. The things you believe in, the things you like, and it will attract your prospect. It will attract your romantic prospect, and not just her or him, but other people too. Potential friends, potential business partners who are into the same things that you are. So put yourself out there and be you. The second lesson I want you to take on is to just send the text. Send the message with no attachment. Don't worry if it's interesting enough, or if she's the one, or if he's the one, or anything like that. Just go out there and send the text. If they don't send a text back, then either A, they don't like you back, which kind of sucks, but hey, you move on. Or B, they have their own stuff to work out. They have their own stuff around dating or around finding the one, and it may not be the best time to date them. This actually frees you up to not care so much about the text and move on from there and do your own thing. And finally, key lesson number 3. After you've sent the text or you've talked for a little bit, ask to meet up virtually or in person. Use your gut, but ask to meet up and keep it casual. You don't have to label it as a date. In fact, I don't recommend you to. Ask him or her out, and when you do, they'll kind of get the picture, right? They'll kind of get the idea that you're interested in them, but then they don't have to be scared of that commitment. They don't have to have that commitment of if it's a date or not, and that kind of relieves the pressure on them and makes them feel better about it. So after about 2 or 3 meetups, you kind of fall into a natural groove. Things will start to feel natural. And from that point, it's smooth sailing, buddy. It's all you. Hey, is this content useful to you? If so, please hit that like button. Help others find this video. The biggest lesson I learned from this experience is that I never had to cater my personality to anyone. I didn't have to do that. I can just be myself around everyone I wanted to, and that would naturally attract my mate. Which brings me to today's point, my sigh of relief. You don't have to cater your personality to anyone. You don't have to pretend to like someone else's interests or get into something just to impress someone else. And in doing so, from this great lesson and from the other 3 great lessons that I learned, you actually get to have more satisfying matches while spending less time, and you get to focus on yourself. That's all I have for you today. And if you want more help with your dating life, there are 2 ways. Number 1, I recommend picking up this amazing dating book called Models by Mark Manson, Attracting Women Through Honesty. This is an amazing book. It's helped me a ton in my dating life. In this book, he spends the first half not even talking so much about dating, but how to build up your confidence, how to build up your presence so you can fully express yourself. Not just around women, but around everyone. And then he spends the second half talking about how to ask out women, how to reach out to them, how to seal that date. And I really love this book because it's not so much about pickup art or any of those scammy lines. It's just real honest truth. If you're a fan of Mark Manson, you will definitely love his book, and I'll leave a link in the comments below. The second way to get supported is to set up a complimentary discovery call with me. You can schedule it through the scheduling link in the description below, or simply comment below or email me with the email provided. When you set up the discovery call, you're not locked into it. After you fill it out and set up the time, I'm going to personally reach out to you and get to know you a bit through email. And if you want, we can even have a short 5 to 10 minute call to get to know each other before we head into that session. The whole point is to serve you. And hey, it's great practice for me too. Thank you guys so much for your time. It means so much to me when you guys show up to this video. Take it easy, keep being yourself, and I'll see you next time.